Hello everyone, welcome to the channel TutorBox. In today's class I am going to discuss about communication in drug safety crisis management, and this is the lecture from the pharmacovigilance unit 3. Okay, in earlier classes I already discussed about the various lectures of pharmacovigilance, so you can go through with the playlist of pharmacovigilance and check the lecture of unit 1, unit 2 and unit 3. Clear? As well as you all know that in the description box I am giving you the link of the notes of the topic which I teach you in the lecture. So check the description box for the notes of the lecture. As well as you all know that in each and every lecture, at the end of lecture we have a 5 MCQ. So solve these MCQ and give the answer of these MCQ in the comment box. So first we have to understand what is crisis. First we understand about the crisis. So crisis is what? If you're looking the definition of the crisis, then the definition of it is an unexpected series of events that initially seems to be out of control. So crisis is what? Basically whenever a crisis occur in our life, so it is unexpected, it come anytime. Okay, the first thing is that it is unexpected, then we are not able to control it. So if we are not able to control it, then suddenly we feel helpless. Okay, so the next thing is that the outcome of is usually uncertain when the crisis is first identified. So whenever crisis occur in our life, its outcome is uncertain. We are not able to find out that what will be the outcome and whether this crisis will resolve soon or not, and we will able to manage it or not. So there is uncertainty about its outcome whenever it first identified, and there is a threat to the success of medicine or vaccine. So if we are talking about the crisis for the medicine and vaccine success. Okay, so there are so many type of crises in our life, but particularly in pharmacovigilance we are talking about the crisis for medicine and vaccine when we are developing these. So failure of these is also considered as a crisis, and after successful approval through US FDA and any regulatory authority, and if there is a serious adverse event occur, then it is also considered as a crisis. So whenever crisis occur, it make a question mark on the success of medicine and vaccine. Clear everyone? I hope you people are able to understand the definition of the crisis. Now what are the key objective of crisis management? We have to be specific about the objectives. So first objective is what? Expected timeline to manage the crisis. So whenever there is a crisis after giving the medicine or vaccine, if suppose there is a death occur, or if suppose there is a life threatening adverse event occur, so in how much time we are able to manage these crisis, or we can say adverse event. So before identifying the crisis, the pharmaceutical company or scientific community may know about if XYZ type of side effect may occur, then in how much time we will resolve it. Clear? So this is important, expected timeline to resolve the crisis. Then the type of resource required. Suppose whenever a crisis occur, so at that time to manage the crisis, how much resources we have to require. So if we know the resources, then we have to procure all these resources before crisis occur. Clear? So in mass vaccination campaign, if we know there may be a possibility of clot formation, there may be a possibility of some kind of immunization reaction, okay, or some kind of hypersensitive reaction like anaphylactic shock. So for the treatment of anaphylactic shocks, what kind of thing of medicine required? So we have to procure before it occur. Clear? Then evaluation of evidence. So whenever crisis occur, the scientist community of pharmaceutical company and the people associated with it, or we can say stakeholders, are responsible to identify the evidence, and further the scientific community will evaluate the evidence. So that is important, so that they will be able to identify why crisis may occur. Then decision making is another next important point regarding the objective. So if the crisis occur, then how to manage and what should be the decision be taken by the higher authorities. So it should be clear to each and every stakeholder. So if prompt decision making is very important in the crisis management. Clear? Then practical arrangement for implementation. So whenever crisis occur, at that time there is a requirement of arrangement to be implemented. So before the occurrence of the crisis, there should be a practical training of the healthcare staff that if the crisis occur, then you have to do these activities when crisis occur. Then developing external communication materials. So whenever crisis occur, it should be not much spread, or awareness should be spread about that crisis, what to do in the crisis. So such kind of communication material like leaflets, like advertisement and social media campaigns. So such kind of external communication material should be developed by the stakeholders, we can say pharmaceutical companies and governments and healthcare professionals should be aware about the external communication material so that they can spread these things in the community. Clear? So these are the objective of crisis management. Now just look on the crisis prevention principle. What are the basic principles so that crisis may not occur? So the first one is clearly defined code of conduct, business ethics and compliance. So many times the companies do not have a good code of conduct. So many pharmaceutical companies do not have a good code of conduct, as well as some are not aligned with their business ethics. They always align with their profit. So whenever the crisis occur, even during the development of the drug, if they infuse lot of fund in the development of the drug, then if crisis occur, then they hide that particular adverse event so that they not face the loss in their discovery process. So business ethics are very important, and then compliance. So many pharmaceutical companies do not have a very good compliance regarding the crisis management, and there is a need of a proper corporate governance in the pharmaceutical companies or biological companies. So that is important. If the companies are not adhere to code of conduct, business ethics and compliance, then there is a sure that there may be a crisis occur in near future. Then quality system should be consistent throughout the organization. So we all know in pharmaceutical company we have a QA and QC department. So whenever drug is developed, the drug is properly checked by quality control department, then quality assurance department will further check. If there is a loophole in the QA and QC, then there is a possibility in the development process of the drug, as well as whenever we are producing these drugs. So there is a possibility of a batch failure of the drugs and withdrawals may occur. So QA and QC system should be very strong throughout the organization. Then well-established safety governance model. So each and every company should develop their safety governance model. If they do not develop the safety governance model, then they are not able to manage the crisis. So the company, those who develop the safety governance model means what? A crisis management. Whenever a crisis occur, so at that time they take the steps to manage the crisis. So safety, particularly whenever an adverse event or life-threatening event occur after the drug used by the patient, at that time if they develop the governance model of safety, then it will help to manage the crisis. Then implementation, a culture of a positive and open communication. So in some companies what happen, the culture of open communication and positive communication are not very good. Okay, sometimes a boss of the company is very harsh about their juniors, about its subordinates. So at that time what happen, if the crisis occur and they communicate, then there may be a different kind of reaction by the boss. So there may be an environment of fear. So it is very necessary to develop a culture of positive and open communication. So whenever if a culture of open communication, then there is a possibility that the crisis may not occur and the staff may get the information before crisis occur. Then ability to identify the potential outcome from any risk. So each and every pharmaceutical company may first know that if any kind of adverse event occur which may be of life threatening, so they have to identify the potential outcome which may considered as a risk. So sometime what happen in preclinical as well as in clinical trial, there is a list of side effects which occur during the trials, but for those trials companies have a ability to identify the risk, but for a specific side effect which not traced in the clinical and preclinical trial and the side effect which occur after the approval of the drug, at that time that is the major concern for the companies. So companies are able to identify the risk for those adverse event or those crises which are already occurred during the development phase. So principle of crisis prevention says that the company should also prepare themselves to unidentified crisis, then a clear accountability of action and decision at all level. So in the company there are so many levels of the people associated with them. So at that time whenever crisis occur, who will be accountable, who will give the answers, and who will be the decision taking body. So it should be very clear. Otherwise what happen, everybody saying that I am not responsible and the other person is responsible, the other person say he is not responsible and the other person responsible. So there will be a no accountability. So accountability is must and decision making should be at all the level of the company organization. So these are some crisis prevention principle. I hope you people are able to understand. Now I am discussing the stakeholders of crisis. So just look on the slide which I am showing you.
Now just look at here, who are the stakeholders in the crisis management. So Food and Drug Organization is a decision maker group, and what is its role? It is conducting drug safety and it is organizing programming as well as it also execute. Then people and pharmacy and medical center, manufacturer and distributor, all are users, and WHO is also users. And what is the role of people? The role of people is prevention from being affected by adverse drug events. Then pharmacy is doing what? Prevention of adverse drug events. And medical center improving the pharmacotherapy and reducing the cost, and manufacturing also improving the quality of the product, improving trust and reputation, as well as prevention of the drug withdrawal. And what they are doing, they all are doing execution of these things. Then if you are looking on the distributor, then they also doing the prevention of error in distribution, and they are doing execution. Clear? Then here we have a WHO. WHO is a user and it is improving international drug monitoring program. Particularly it is used to improving international drug monitoring program, and basically it is doing programming. Then the health sector, healthcare professional, scientific medical NGO and media, they are generally user, and healthcare sector is user as well as decision maker. So healthcare sector is reducing the cost, improving the pharmacotherapy, and it is also doing programming and execution. Then healthcare professional are improving pharmacotherapy and prevention of the legal issue as well as doing execution. Then scientific medical NGO, they are improving scientific program for members and increasing, they are doing what? Programming and execution. Then media is a user and improving information quality. That is important in the crisis management, and it is also doing execution. Now just look on the PESTEL technology in the crisis management. In PESTEL technology we can say there are various issues like political, economical, social, technological and legal and environmental. Political issue has a strength that authority of Food and Drug Organization because it is a authority. And what is its limitation? Limitation in human resource and budget, that is its limitation. Then what is its opportunity? Intersectional collaboration is its opportunity, and threat is reduced collaboration of people due to fear of the legal aspect. Then economical, if you are looking on the economical aspect, then resources of food and drug organization is its strength and weakness. Special budget for drug safety crisis is not available, generally government is not providing, so this is the economical threat. And opportunity, manufacturer responsibility for suspected medicine. So generally manufacturers are taking their responsibility and they do work accordingly, but economical aspect of required changes for manufacturer is a particularly, we can say, threat. Then if you are looking on the social aspect, then possibility of scientific consultation is the strength of sociality. And what is its weakness? For social word, we can say lack in quick communication with healthcare professionals. So there are huge number of healthcare professional and the communication is not very quick in this sector. And what is opportunity? Public attitude for preventing ADE and other countries experience media are available. And then what is the threat? Counterfeit and tampering of the products, that is the possibility. Then technology, so intranet available for communication with medical university in the country, clear. Then lack of new methods in information technology is the weakness. And then further 43 different university can share their equipment, and not only 43, there are multiple universities they can share. But what is the threat? Failure in perfect technology tool, interruption in interest. Then if you are looking on the legal aspect, so what is the strength of it? Possibility of issue countrywide guideline and regulation, so every country has their own guideline. But what is the weakness? Lack in regulation for preventing drug safety crisis. These are the, particularly we do not have a specific regulation to prevent the drug safety crisis. And what are the opportunity? Membership of WHO International Drug Monitoring Program and similar regulation in health sector, they are promoting the legal laws. And threat is legal complaints of manufacturers is particularly, we can say, a threat. And if you are looking on the environmental aspect, then for environmental aspect we have a possibility to have appropriate conditions for distribution and stock of medicine by using technology. And the threat is inappropriate condition for distribution or conserving medications. I hope you people are able to understand the pastel analysis as well.
Now just look at here how to manage the crisis. So whenever crisis occur, how we will be able to manage it. So do not wait until the crisis occur. So we have companies or stakeholders, particularly pharmaceutical company and healthcare staff, should not wait until the crisis occur. जब तक crisis आ नहीं जाता तब तक उसका वेट नहीं करना है. कंपनीज और हेल्थ केयर प्रोफेशनल को पहले से ही प्रिपेयर होकर रहना है. देन prepare for unavoidable concern. Then all these stakeholders, the important one are government of the particular company, then healthcare professional, and then pharmaceutical company. All these stakeholders have to be prepared for unavoidable circumstances. Then develop a good relationship with the media. Sometimes what happens, a crisis may occur and media, you know that they are nowadays media is creating a too much hype. So if we do not have a very good communication, then there is a possibility that media can create a big hype. Okay, and the matter is not that much clear. So if the companies and hospitals and the stakeholders have a good communication, then media will not create that much hype. Okay, and they share the news in a way that it will not create too much big concern among the people. And further we have to train the staff for all level and all condition. So healthcare professional, nursing staff and pharmacists all should be well trained whenever crisis occur, because these are the people who handle the crisis. Clear? So if they are not trained, then there will be a big question mark. Okay, so training of the staff is very necessary whenever a new vaccine is launched, whenever a new drug is launched. Each healthcare professional like doctors, nursing staff and pharmacists all should be well trained about the possible adverse event of these drugs, so that whenever these adverse events occur, they can handle the situation. Then confirm all facts before making up any public comment. So whenever we are launching a drug, okay, so you all know at the time of corona, so many companies have launched their drug and they claim that their drug is totally eradicate the corona, but it was not happened. So whenever we are doing any public comment, at that time we must know about the all facts of the drug, what is the mechanism of the drug and what are the adverse event of the drug, how to manage the adverse event of the drug. So all fact we must know. Prepare well organized plan with SOP. SOP means standard operating procedures. So whenever a crisis occur, we have to make a standard operating procedure to manage the crisis. So if we already prepared for a crisis, then it will be easy for us to manage the crisis. Then ensure good public awareness. You all know that in the mass vaccination of corona, Government of India and all stakeholders already mentioned that there will be very less amount of side effect, and these are the side effects may be possible in the patient. So public was aware about the adverse event, that they may suffering from fever, they may suffering from muscle pain, and there may be a possibility of a body ache. Okay, so they already aware about these adverse events, so it will not create some kind of a big concern in them. Okay, so these are the some we can say procedure how to manage the crisis. Now understand condition, what kind of condition is considered as a crisis and what kind of condition is not considered as a crisis. So I'm giving you some condition which always not considered as a crisis, however often they are considered. Clear? Always not considered, but often they considered. So the first one is product safety issue. Sometime what happened, there is a issue with the product whenever we are launching our new drug, and if there is a concern about the safety, so sometime it is considered as a crisis, but always it is not considered. And then unexpected FDA inspection. The plant of the company is not expecting the FDA inspection, but there is an inspection from the FDA and warning letter issued by the FDA. So these are always not considered as a crisis, but sometimes they are considered. Then government issue, media issue and legal issue. All kind of issue with the company plant, and there will be some media issue as well as some legal suit filed by the patient. You know that in the USA there was a person who filed a suit against the company for a talcum powder. That talcum powder may cause a cancer to his child. So such kind of legal issue may be occur. Then internal company issue. There sometime what happen, there will be a issue in the company partners. Okay, and there may be a different type of issues. So this may be considered as a crisis sometime. Possible criminal activity. So if there is a criminal activity, this could be considered as a crisis. Then regulatory request. So whenever any organization like US FDA and European Regulatory Authority or Asian Regulatory Authority or a individual country regulatory authority do a request for an inspection or a sudden inspection, so it may create a problem with the company. Then problem with the business partners. So this could be also a problem for the company internal governance. Then merger and acquisition. So sometimes the companies are merged, one company is merged with the another company and they making a new name. Okay, so these are always not considered as a crisis, but sometimes they are considered as a crisis. Clear everyone? So I hope you people are able to understand about the crisis management. Okay, so here I discuss some MCQ with you guys. So solve these MCQ and give the answer in the comment box, as well as see the description box for the notes of this lecture. And if you think this lecture is useful, then share this lecture to each and everyone. Jai Bharat, Jai Hind.